One of the biggest mistakes I've ever made as an executive chef was allowing someone to take credit for my work when that wasn't the deal.
Jellybean says hi, by the way. Yeah, my biggest mistake was not that. My biggest mistake was not having confidence in myself. And I'm hoping that if you go and watch this person's channel and you watch content from my channel, it will help you in the future if you are a new line cook or you're looking to break into a sous chef or executive chef position. Not having confidence can be a career killer. So I'm going to explain 2 times where it hurt me bad. First time was there was actually a kitchen manager position. I've often said that my very first position was all the way back in 2008, graveyard shift, working at Perkins as a line cook. Now, if anybody knows chain restaurants, something that's true even back in 2008 as it is today is there's a lot of turnover usually at various different locations. So people move around a lot, they transfer to different departments, they move on to different things. Well, the previous executive chef was moving on to start their own company. And there was a new kitchen manager position open. Well, I learned that somebody else was going for the kitchen manager position. And this is a 250-seat restaurant. Most of this stuff you prep in the morning, and then a lot of it's like microwaved at night. There was a lot of changes I wanted to make, a lot of things that I thought would be really awesome. But one of my coworkers applied for the kitchen manager position. And what did I do? Instead of applying for the kitchen manager position, I applied for the assistant kitchen manager position because I had what I thought was integrity to not try to take that position away from another coworker. Instead of allowing the company to make an appropriate decision on who they felt belonged in that position, I just gave it up and applied for the assistant manager. And I actually came up in the interview. And when I told them this, because I was about, honesty is the best policy, and it still is, right? Don't lie. But because I did that, I ended up in a situation where they didn't even want me as the assistant because I was so willing to just let somebody else have that position. Like, it was like I didn't even care. Like, I was just applying just because I could, just because there was a free position. I was acting like they already had it. And I'm sure that there were other factors that I probably will never know about, but it was a lack of confidence. And had I applied for that kitchen manager position after being with that company for almost 4 years at that point, I probably would have gotten it, but I didn't. There was another time. So I moved from Sodexo. I tried working at the hospital for a little bit. That fell apart, which I could do a video. If you're interested, just comment hospital and I'll talk about my little hospital endeavor. But eventually, through my employment history, I ended up at Sodexo working as a catering chef and a supervisor. So it's basically a lead and a catering chef kind of combined into one. And there was a wedding coming up. They did a tasting. During this tasting, I did a prime rib. I still remember it to this day. It was prime rib and it was purple. They were purple potatoes. That was going to be a puree. And it was a baby carrot garnish, which I can try to replicate the garnish, I think, from memory. And then I'm having trouble remembering the other thing that it went with, but I do remember, this was over a decade ago. I do remember the prime rib, and I remember the purple potatoes. God, what was it? Let's just say asparagus. So I had prime rib, asparagus, and purple potatoes. And it was a puree, and I really wanted the purple to come out. So during the tasting, what I did is I did these purple potatoes and I didn't like how little like purple they were. So what I did is I took a bunch of beet juice and I added it into the mashed potatoes to make them really like mega purple, right? Because that juice is super dark, but when it gets diluted in with the potatoes and they already have that purple color, it dilutes the really darkness of it and almost dyes the potatoes a different color. And then when you put that orange carrot garnish on there, you have this contrast that was just, oh my God, chef's kiss, right? Literally. And then it was some other vegetable. The reason why I remember that it was essentially a puree de pomme at that point, because of the way that I did it and how I executed it. The reason why I remember that so well is because the executive chef at the time completely altered that menu after the tasting. And instead of standing up for myself and having the confidence to be like, no, we're going to execute this. I've already seen that I can do this on scale. I know I can do it. I let them change the purple puree de pomme with a carrot garnish to just new potatoes. Just roasted new potatoes. Plain old ass roasted new potatoes. Whatever the fuck the vegetable was, green beans, asparagus, whatever the fuck, they left that the same. And then they said that they would also do the prime rib. I wanted to do the prime rib. I know how to cook prime rib. I was confident I could execute the wedding. I needed somebody else to do whatever the vegetarian options were and the kids and stuff like that, and I could handle the main entree. Well, what ended up happening is, I will just say someone. I know who it is, but I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. Someone dropped the ball on the prime rib that I expected to be done. It didn't get put in at the right time, and so we had to rush that. And because that got rushed, the alternative, which was going to be a risotto, got overlooked. There wasn't enough kids options. Everything went to fucking shit. And I had to go out there in the wedding venue after all of it, and with my coffee filter hat, and give a bow. That wasn't my dish. That isn't what I made. That isn't what I wanted. It wasn't executed the way I wanted it to. Nothing about that had my signature on it. That it was supposed to be my event. But I gave up all creative control after the fact, after the tasting, after everything was all said and done. And the event fucking bombed. And I never forgave myself for giving up that creative control. I never forgave myself for not speaking out and not having the confidence to express how I felt about it. Because that carrot garnish, I guarantee that they would be remembering that fucking plate today in 2025. They probably regret ever having Sodexo cater that event. Not Sodexo's fault. I am not speaking on behalf of Sodexo Jedi Mind Trick. So I just want you to know that. When you are going to be in a sous chef, executive chef, whatever position, you absolutely have to have confidence. And what this person said, go watch their whole video. I'm not even going to repeat it here because I want you to get curious and go watch their video because they're actually really good. Otherwise, you guys have a great day.